Here's my audience. And now I'm going to begin. So, promoting business in China is a great way to expand our company globally. In order to expand the company, we need to understand the culture of China and what makes them unique. And in order to understand their culture, we need to understand their social customs. So, like how do we greet them when we go over there? Appropriate attire to wear, appropriate business attire. Is gift giving appropriate? Um, Sitting down for a business meal. What is their attitude towards time compared to ours? And the different communication styles amongst us and the Chinese. So when we greet people in China, we need to establish a relationship. We need to be formal. We need to remain standing through the entire greeting. And an accepted form of greeting, just like over here, a handshake. But sometimes they might not do a handshake. They might bow, and they don't show a lot of emotions when during the greeting process. So smiling or something like that. So don't be offended if they're not smiling like you. Um, it's what they do. The Chinese, they like to be formally introduced to us, and then after the greeting process, then you could present a business card and go into business with them. So what appropriate attire to wear? You want to avoid wearing bright colors. Um, Shorts. Avoid wearing shorts. Shorts are mainly for exercising. To them, it's for exercising, or mainly tourists that tour the country. Um, Blue jeans. Like over here, we have maybe casual Friday, blue jean day. They over there, they're wearing suits all the time. So blue jeans, avoid wearing those. Too much jewelry, too much flashy jewelry. Dark clothes are accepted. They like to see neutral colors. Um, and men and women both should dress conservatively. So the women's attire, they want to avoid wearing anything revealing, anything that shows cleavage or just too much skin. High heels, it should be worn appropriately. If they're going to be taller than the host or the business partner that you're going to be meeting, or whoever you're with, then it's best that they don't wear heels at all. It's appropriate to wear a very small heel. Um, any flashy large jewelry. Over here, we like to wear flashy, blingy jewelry. Over there, it's keep it to a moderation. Um, Business suits are very appropriate for women over there, and using dark colors, as beige or dark blue or just dark colors, neutral colors. Avoid wearing too much makeup, bright colors in the makeup, and nail polish. You want to keep those at a neutral color. For the men, suit and tie is appropriate. The tie should be very simple. It should be plain. Also a neutral color. And the suit jacket is worn at all times. So over here we get relaxed. We show up to work. We take our suit jacket off and then we put it behind our chair. Well, over there, or we hang it on a hook, and then over there they mainly wear it all the time. Um, the jewelry should be of good quality, and what that means for the men, usually, what it means is a wedding band is accepted. Or if you're going to wear a watch, it needs to be of a good quality. So if you're going to wear a Rolex, it needs to be a real Rolex. It can't be a fake. They'll perceive you as a different person. So just make sure that the jewelry is real. Closed-toe shoes and no sandals. You don't want to be wearing any kind of sandals. Obviously, with the business suit, we're probably not going to be wearing sandals, but closed-toe shoes for both men and women. Appropriate gifts. It's appropriate to give them a gift. It's a good way of developing a strong relationship. If they don't accept the gift, then simply decline, or if they simply decline it, you accept it, take it back. Don't be offended by it. Smaller, less expensive items are acceptable. If you get something that's too expensive, and they don't have anything in exchange of that equal quality, it kind of looks like a bribe. So keeping it just small, simple, less expensive is the best way to go. You want to present the gift with at least two hands. If you can hold it in two hands, you want to present it with two hands, and they'll accept it with two hands, and that goes vice versa. So if they're going to give you a gift, you take their gift with two hands. Appropriate colors to wrap the gift. Red is actually considered a lucky color to them. If you notice that their flag is red. Pink, any kind of light color like that. Yellow, you want to avoid wrapping the gift in yellow and black. That is meant, that's what they give their deceased. To somebody that's probably passed away in their family, they go and they bring presents that are wrapped in yellow. So when you're sitting down and you're eating your meal with a potential business partner, you want to wait until the host eats first or drinks first. The host will be seated in the middle of the table, and then next to him will be the next it will be the next more important person, or the next important person, and you'll be sitting across from the host. You want to learn how to use their utensils. It will be inappropriate for you to pick up a fork if they have chopsticks. You want to grow accustomed to their utensils. You want to eat with what they have, so eat with the chopsticks. They pretty much use chopsticks for everything. Soup, like wonton soup. You just want to make sure you're using their utensils. You don't want to set the chopsticks on the dinner table with the mouth part laying on the table. And you never want to talk about business during the meal. So anything that's controversial or business, just leave that. You want to praise the food and enjoy the food while you're eating it, and then leave business talk for afterwards. So how do they perceive time? They have a punctuality. They like to be on time. So that means that you need to be on time. It's disrespectful to be late. And if you have a business plan and you're going up to them and you're presenting it to them, to make them, you don't want to push them to make that decision right away. So if you wanted a plan to get done in 6 months, it's not good to push it to 3 months. You want them to take the time to make that decision. It helps you want to build your relationship with them, and then they'll feel more comfortable with you, and then they'll work with you. So it's always best to make that relationship before talking business. Now we have different communication styles, obviously, from between the United States and China. Body language plays an important role when over there. We like to use our hands, our bodies when we're talking or giving speeches, and they're more conservative. They don't talk with their hands. Body posture should remain formal. Pointing your finger, they don't point their finger at people, so pointing your finger could be considered as, they consider that as rude. And when you're speaking to them, they might stand in your personal bubble. Over here in the United States, we kind of have a personal bubble. You give each other space, but over there, they stand very close to one another. It doesn't matter if they're standing in line for something; they're very, very close. And when you're speaking to them, they'll be right up on you. Don't feel offended. Don't feel weird. That's just the way they do it over there. And they don't like to be touched. So over here, we like to pat each other on the back for doing something, hugging or anything like that. Just keep it to a minimal. I wouldn't touch them. I would, just simply stand where you're at and just propose your business plan to them. So, by looking over everything that we have just spoke about, their different social customs, it will help our business grow. We'll be able to establish new relationships. We can understand how they do their business. Understanding their culture, respecting you. It's important to respect the difference between our two cultures and adapting to their culture. This way we can acquire their business or they'll acquire ours. And that's it.
I learned a lot from that.
Okay. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
I did. I learned a lot from that. Thank you.
I hope the dogs count.